You feel about the women out there feeling like they man gotta make 6 figures?
You know why they feel like they have to make 6 figures?
Why you
Because
say
they ain't making it. And they want a man to take care of them. They want somebody to play captain and come save them. And some of these men want to come play captain and go save them hoes. But you can't save a hoe. Believe that. Because see, a real woman gonna go out there, she don't need a to make no 6 figures because she out there making it herself. Okay? Because see, what if you want something, you don't have to get no approval from no man to get it. You should be able to go out there. If you think it, you want it, you should be able to go get it. Just like that.
So if a guy makes $20 an hour and he's, I think a reasonable first date spend would be $100. If he's making $20 an hour, that's 5 hours of work for the both of you.
Okay.
To be fair, he's eating his own food. So just your portion of that bill, let's say it's $50. A man who makes $20 an hour has to work 2.5 hours. Now, I'm not even factoring in tax. 2.5 hours to take you on a date. When I think about the bow that I desire, 3 seconds, done. That's all she has to do. It's effortless. Any woman can do it. When a girl says men should pay for first dates, the translation there is go dig a ditch for 2.5 hours. Instead of the bow, if I told a woman, you have to go physically labor for me for 2.5 hours to go on a date with me, y'all would be like, that's way worse than the bow. I'm not digging a ditch for you for 2.5 hours.
You're not losing your man because he stopped loving you. You're losing your man because you stopped respecting him. Love doesn't keep a man, respect does. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. Tone, reactions, how you talk to him when you're upset and when people are watching. Interrupt him, belittle him, roll your eyes. That's disrespect. Men don't fight forever. They go quiet, distance, and then they're gone. If you're a man who can feel your woman losing respect for you and you don't know how to flip it, DM me. I help men fix this every day.
And at some point in time, modern women have to understand that, you told a man that you don't want a man talking to you. So when a man goes and, is it a wrong thing for a man to go and do something else with his time besides being in somebody else's face? Because that's what modern women want. They want you to be in their face. They don't necessarily want anything with you because you're not Chad or Tyrone. They just want some attention and validation.
Would you be okay with your boyfriend going to a strip club?
No.
Why not? That's really controlling and insecure of you.
I just think it's just like half fucking woman. I don't know. I just would feel uncomfortable with it. That's it. Like, what's the reason he's going there? Like, I don't, like most men.
He's got a bunch of frat boyfriends and
I mean, I wouldn't compare going to a strip club. Like, a lot of people have broken up with their boyfriends just for going to strip clubs. Like, even if they didn't engage in anything, it's just kind of like, why are you there?
I think it's far more likely that somebody cheats at a bar or club versus cheats at a strip club. Because the difference is, when you go to a bar or club, there's people who will you there. You go to a strip club, trust me, the strippers definitely don't like the male clientele. They think the male patrons are pathetic. They think they're lame, whatever. They're tricks, they're marks. It's just money. They'll give the men attention, but it's just, they're trying to get money out of these guys. There's a better chance, if I step into a club, there's a better chance of getting laid in the club than getting laid at the strip club.
I have a question. Do you think any of those women that were featured in that video actually use these very simple but very useful things called words to convey their wishes to those gentlemen that were shown sitting in that video, that they actually wanted to sit down? Probably not. I understand it was much more important to make a video about the non-existence, apparently, of chivalry. However, that is part of the larger problem. There are quite a few women out there that genuinely don't know how to communicate what they want to men. They simply expect men to treat them in a certain way because they are women. And might I remind a lot of you women out there, that is not equality. That is, in fact, not feminism. That is actually called entitlement. And may I remind a lot of you out there, you are not entitled to special treatment simply because you're a woman. But next time, try using words.
And you got to understand, man, with the way that you out here talking, with the way that you out here acting, with the way that you out here thinking that you're just going to talk crazy to a man, treat a man like he's dirt, a man is not going to pursue that. There's no reason for him to. there's no reason for him to get up out of bed every morning, having a great day, might have had a great night with his friends, just to come up to you. You got an attitude. And the only way that attitude is going to leave is if you have more cowbell.
This is why women attack men when they're happy.
Women attack men when men are happy?
Mm-hmm.
What's an example? Oh, like sports.
Exactly. Ugh, he's so full of himself. And we'll just have me to take him down.
So wait, why do women do that?
Because happiness and power comes together in a man's body, and the power is scary. And so we have to diminish the power. So we will attack them when they're happy. They come home, they caught a big fish, or whatever it was they did. If it wasn't something that I did that gave you that feeling, then that's a problem. We never say you hurt my feeling.
No.
You hurt my feelings. Because they're all right here, and it feels like you stabbed me in the chest or you crushed.
Women, if you want to lose a good man fast, here are some tips to facilitate the process, because I know that some of you have good men but don't know what to do with them. Because I love you and I want you to lose your good man, I will share tips on how to make it happen very fast. Never respect him, never appreciate him, and make sure that you're always complaining about money all time. And this one will shock you. Nothing kills attraction faster than acting like you are the man in the relationship while giving nothing but pain and headaches. Another tip, make him feel unseen, unvalued, like he's walking on eggshells around you. Give him pressure, judge him, complain on everything. You'll see him leave. Just know that men don't leave because they stop loving you. They leave because they stopped feeling needed, trusted, respected, and appreciated. And the fastest way to push them out of the door is to take that for granted every single day. But if you actually want him to stay, respect him, value him, appreciate him, and make him feel like the man in the relationship. That is the difference. Then comment respect in the comments if this is true, and send it to a woman who doesn't value a man.
And honestly, modern women be like, why am I not being asked out? It's because honestly, men are having, with a lot of these young ladies, men are having to ask. Men are having to beg for the bare minimum. I'm having to beg for softness. I'm having to beg for, you just showing some type of interest. I'm having to beg for you to say that you even like me. I'm having to beg for you to say thank you, while you expecting me to buy you all of these gifts and wine you and dine you and all that stuff.
My young brother, listen to me. I pull up in the Rolls Royce. I pull up in the Lambo. I got the motion. And sometimes they still don't text back. Sometimes they still fall asleep at 8 p.m. on a Friday. And sometimes they're just at the club in another dude section. It doesn't get any better. It's life. I wish you the best of luck.
It can't be.
What do you mean, even when you've got the motion? While this is great communication, fantastic comms from the top down, this is like hearing Santa Claus isn't real. You mean to tell us
getting rich isn't the solution?
Bruce Wayne, Batman himself, just basically got on the mic and told us there's no answer to the problem we've all been desperate to solve. All of the young men grinding out here to make it happen. For what? One can obtain a Rolls Royce, have immaculate motion, and get treated as if none of it mattered. What are we to believe in now? We just got insider knowledge from the upper echelon of life that the way we're going isn't the right way. It begs the question, what does one have to do to get some play?
When you get home, instead of just going and sitting on the couch and expecting to be served like you're the king of the castle, you're wondering why your wife doesn't respect you. It's because you act like a little kid. You're not someone worth respecting. Respect isn't earned by words. Respect is earned by consistent action. Give her a reason to respect you. Show up. Act like a protector. Be a provider. Love your wife. Be a servant to her. Serve her and your kids. And if you consistently act in accordance with that, maybe over time, she will respect you.
And men, you have to understand that men work off of respect, right? So if I'm seeing You know, hey, why is he not, really chasing me and begging for me? And I want him to really, really want me and love me and all that stuff. I get it. But, if a man is getting out there chasing, you think about being in the middle of nowhere, just chasing. And at some point in time, you're going to be like, what am I doing running? What are we running for? What am I running for? Is there danger? Like, what's the situation? And that's what's happening. Men have stopped and started questioning why they're actually chasing. What am I running for? Who am I running after? Who am I running away from? And when you see men stop and start to do that analysis, now it gets clarity on, oh, well, what the heck? Why am I going in this direction? Ain't nothing over here for me. And that's when you stay over there and you sit over there like, oh man, he just quit chasing me. Because he stopped running and he started thinking. And once he started thinking, he got some mental clarity and was like, oh, she wasted my time. Let me go run in the other direction, towards my goals, towards my vision, toward my aspiration. Let me go back that way. Let me find somebody back that way that actually likes me. That's why you're missing out on these good guys.
I fully believe that 95% of all men in the United States would have taken a plane ride to Epstein Island.
You know what I fully believe? That there are some individuals out there that are so deluded that they would actually be so desperate for likes and views that they would not only try to convince themselves of such a thing, but others as well. Just imagine having the audacity to accuse 95% of the male population in one country of being so depraved that, well, listen to this.
Even with full knowledge of what was going on there.
Oh, gentlemen, it gets worse.
For most of them, what was going on there would be the feature, not the bug. But the rest of them would be making excuse after excuse to get on that plane.
Just imagine the level of loathing that a person would have to hold in their hearts towards an entire population of people. Might I add, based on a characteristic that they have no control over, to say such things. Quite frankly, it's women that say things like this that honestly sometimes make me embarrassed to share the same gender as them.
Yo, some women get on my nerve. Like, they're over here turning 40, telling me that, oh, I can't find a good man. And then they talk to someone and they just stop talking to them. And I'm like, well, what the happened? Oh, well, I asked him what he was doing, and he told me he was eating chicken wings. Okay, and that was it. He was eating chicken wings. You just stopped talking to him because he was eating chicken wings? No, he should have, ate something healthier. I want my guy to eat something healthy. The guy wants chicken wings. You just stopped talking to a guy for eating chicken wings. That's why you 40 and single. What do you mean they ain't good guys? He's not a good guy because he eats chicken wings? Get the f*** out of here.
Modern women really, they're not serious. They always have something silly to say. Well, how come I can't get a man to take me seriously? This goes beyond joking, right? Because you can have fun, you can be silly. That's just who she is. She's just a goofy person. She just likes to have fun. She just likes to cut up. That's just who she is, right? If that's not your personality, leave her alone. That's one thing. What we have today is modern women cackling and being silly in a man's face when a man is trying to approach. And not only do they act silly and immature, they continue it instead of saying, no, we just playing. What's going on? There's one woman in the gym. Man came up to her, maybe he could have said something a little bit better. Maybe he could have approached a little bit better. He didn't do anything weird. But maybe he could have said some stuff better. Her friend jumps in, starts cackling and doing all that other stuff. And instead of saying, no, I'm sorry, go ahead. This is your moment. And really, being genuine about it. Maybe you give him a good natured ribbing. Hey, you remember when you said that to Chloe? And, just kind of bust out laughing. And, you just kind of roast them a little bit and go on about your business. Men can take that. What men don't want to be involved in anymore is being the butt of the joke every single time. And they really didn't even do anything wrong. It's not worth it, man.
To the women who liked to date men, and only women who like to date men only, this message is for you. If you are not a woman who enjoys or wants to date a man, then keep on scrolling. My rent is $6,000. My nails, $150. My hair, $300 minimum. All right, my facials, at least $200, $250. So I pay for all this myself. I do not expect a man to take care of this for me because he is my partner, not my father. All right? I think the men have left now. Ladies, when a man invites you over to his apartment or his house for the first time, please rob him. Please understand that this man wants you to rob him.
This is why I say women hate other women. And this is why you don't take advice from a lot of these women that you see online. Because what she's telling other women to do is to rob somebody so they can go to jail. God forbid, if he ever had camera of you stealing, you're f***ed. I'm telling you, women hate women. They do. Because then you wouldn't give some dumb advice like that.
So a lot of people have been asking us about veneer breath and if that's a real thing. And veneer breath can be a real thing for some people. It's often correlated to composite veneers. So composite veneers are kind of like a plasticky type material layered over the teeth. The gums usually don't like composite as much as they like porcelain. And so that's one of the reasons why we do porcelain veneers over composite veneers. Bacteria tends to kind of harbor and gather around some of those composite areas to contribute to things like veneer breath or bad breath. The other thing too is if someone doesn't take care of their gums or if the veneers actually kind of irritate the gums, that can also contribute to veneer. Another thing that can contribute to veneer breath is if someone had veneers and the veneers were improperly done. And what I mean is the veneers actually are not sealed or they don't fit properly. And again, that's something else that can contribute to bacteria harboring or gathering around the veneers. So those are some of the things that can cause veneer breath. So veneer breath can be a real thing, but if you get veneers done at a good cosmetic dentist, you should not have to worry about anything like veneer breath because they would be done properly.
You know, a lot of these modern women, they want men to approach, but they want to tell men how to approach, right? And to a degree that makes sense, right? Well, obviously don't approach me, you know, in certain places like at night during the park, like at, in a dark parking lot, or, you know, don't come up and call me baby. Like, I don't know you, I'm not your baby. Makes sense, right? But modern women have a way that they want men to approach, and you have to have it. It's one thing to say, okay, I don't want a man to call me baby because, you know, I don't know you. But then there's also, oh, I want him to be in a black suit, wearing some Louis Vuitton, I don't know, flip-flops, have a buzz cut, look like, I don't know, Matt, whoever, you get it. There's one thing to say, I don't want him disrespecting me versus, oh, he got to come up like to me like this with a glass in his hand, and you don't get approached. Because if a man doesn't look a certain way, if he doesn't talk in a certain manner, right, then you disrespect him. And so men watch that, men see that, and then they're like, no.
I don't understand why every time there's a group of men giving all their attention to a beautiful, bad, the rest of you get jealous, mad, insecure, and do everything in your power to take that attention away from her. Like, I don't understand that. And don't let her be light skinned. Here come the brown skin and dark skin shorties. She not cute, she just light skinned. They only on her cause she light skinned. She not all that, just light skinned, trying to make it a race war now. This is why that girls that you be trying to spew out into the world, I don't be buying it, and y'all be full of cause as soon as some pressure step into the same room that you're currently in, that girl goes right out the window and chests start to cave the and y'all true colors start to come out. Y'all be male-centered and don't even be wanting to admit it. No fun. And I'ma always say this. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Women are always jealous of each other, always in competition with each other, and women as hate each other. No fun. Because if you post a bad online and you go into the comments, it's gonna be women having something negative to say about her. And y'all always do that. Y'all did it to Ice Spice and y'all did it to Cooking with Kaya. Two badass that had y'all in a bunch, like dead ass.
I think in a lot of long-term relationships, women get to the point of like, it's not romantic anymore, he doesn't take me out anymore, and the guy is just like, I don't know what to do, I guess I can't do anything right. And I have a theory on why this is. Men's idealized romantic visions for themselves are like peace and stability and comfort. And I think women's romantic idealized versions for themselves are like passion and excitement, maybe a little bit of danger, but like nothing too crazy. I believe this because when men start talking romantically, what they imagine you doing is they're like, hey, I can't wait until you can come over, we can just like watch TV together and like drink some beers. And like this is what they say when they have a crush on you. When they like legitimately have a crush on you, they start fantasizing about like things they can do with you at home. And when women have a crush on you, they're like, I want to do this with him, I want to do that with him, I want to go all these exciting places with him, I want to kiss him in the rain. Obviously this is not every woman or every man ever. Like everyone's an individual that has like their own romantic fantasies. But I've noticed this is a disconnect and conflict that like most straight couples tend to run into at some point. What's the solution here? I can only speak for myself. I can only speak for me personally, but I'm just gonna find someone who doesn't like peace that much. I will never be a man's peace.
And, you know, a lot of these men have moved on to greener pastures, if I can say it like that. They've moved on to better things. They've moved on to not chasing women around. And so you might be asking the question, or, you know, I'd be wondering why a man is not willing to beg, right? And as a matter of fact, my wife and I just got through watching this show. I think it's on Netflix called My Worst or The Worst Ex Ever or something like that. And you look at these women and they cry and they complain. And I think I might have only seen the first 2 episodes, right? And you don't want to condone what people are doing to the victims, but you hear the victims talk about what they've gone through, and then you'd be like, why did you even put yourself through that? But yet instead, y'all are getting into relationships. Modern women are getting into relationships with criminals. Literal, and this is not an exaggeration, they're on the books, official criminals, they're felons. Oh, well, I loved them and I just couldn't part ways. The man takes advantage of the woman sexually, and she's, oh, well, you know, I still couldn't leave him. Are you joking? But y'all sit out here and give the good man flack. You want the good man to get down on bended knee and beg you to stay. You should be running it.
Unpopular opinion, being a man has to be one of the most difficult things in this world, because when I hear some of the requests that women have and how they can contradict themselves, I get confused. It's like, I don't need you to be too sensitive, but how dare you not share your feelings and your emotions with me? I need you to be a good leader, but understand that I won't be following you and I won't be listening to you, and you can't lead me anywhere. But be a good leader. Be strong and show a level of vulnerability, but not too much, because then strength and vulnerability cannot coexist together, because now I'm going to think that you weak. I want you to be truthful and honest, but not too truthful to where you telling me the truth about me, and now I got to feel some type of way towards you, because you're supposed to be on my side at all points in time.
Come on.
Read my mind, but don't you dare assume that you know what I'm thinking. Meet my needs, even though I'm not going to tell you what my needs are all the time, but I expect for you to just know somehow. Be financially stable, but make sure you have a whole bunch of time, even though it takes time to make money. Now, when you hear some of these requests out loud and you see how they contradict themselves, don't it sound silly? And wouldn't you be just as confused as he is?
Somebody give this woman the Nobel Peace Prize. Now, what's interesting is that between the dichotomy of her statements, it's clear to see how illogical a modern woman's definition of what a real man is. But the irony is that only a real woman would understand the points that she's making. A mature woman would agree with her, while the immature will defend. Know the difference.
Does anybody else think it's weird that women can expect things from men, but men can't expect anything from women? Like, I seriously want you to stop and think about one thing that it's socially acceptable for a man to expect from a woman. Like, can you think of a tangible thing where if I got on here and I was like, hey, I think in a relationship that women blah, 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 that wouldn't be problematic or red pill? Because from what I notice, it's like, it's okay if a woman expects men to pay for dates, but that man can't expect the woman to put out. It's okay if women expect men to pay all their rent, But if he expects her to cook and clean, he's a filthy misogynist. Women can expect a man to facilitate an environment in which they can become a stay-at-home mother. However, that man cannot expect her to become a stay-at-home mother. Like, do you see what I'm getting at here? Personally, I don't think anybody should expect anything from anybody. However, the hypocrisy is crazy to me. And the lack of acknowledgement in the hypocrisy, it just confuses me. It's like we have certain demographics here who are listing their expectations, but not being willing to deliver anything whatsoever.
Say it louder for the women in back. That's definitely gonna get me in trouble. In all seriousness, this is what's so frustrating for so many men out there. Because they're either trying to find a life partner through all of this stuff, all of the double standards, all of the negativity towards men in general right now. The fact that so many women would pick the bear over a man. Or they've decided to just stay single. They've decided to remove themselves from the game. And let me just say that out of this group of guys that have decided to remain single, there's two subgroups. The one subgroup that is the large majority is the group of guys that are just silent about it. They have removed themselves silently from the dating world. But yet you hear about the smaller subgroup of men that are angry and they're putting out content. They're leaving the comments. But what women fail to realize is that this is a smaller subgroup. Most men out there are just so frustrated over these double standards. And if while being single, they've discovered peace and sanity, they're going to stay there. They are choosing peace over this craziness.
The reason he's not pursuing you is on a list from 100 masculine men that I interviewed, asking them what makes them commit, what makes them approach, what makes them fall for a woman, and what makes them run away, and everything in between. If you want that whole report, comment report, I will send it to you. But for now, top 3 things that make a man pursue and commit. Number 3 is emotional connection. Who knew? Guys have feelings too. If emotional connection is there, a man is exponentially more willing to commit, which leads to number 2, compatibility and shared values. I remember reading the book, His Needs, Her Needs, where it talks about the most important things to a guy in a relationship beyond physical attractiveness and, sexual fulfillment. The third need in that book is recreational activities where, a guy can share what he's doing recreationally with his woman. This is a place where we as guys bond. A lot of guys, in essence, want to be dating their best friend, albeit a hot best friend. And the number 1 thing that makes a guy pursue and commit is, and I saw this littered throughout the report, it was the answer to a bunch of different questions. I had no idea it was going to be this prevalent, to be honest with you. But the number 1 thing that makes men pursue and commit is loyalty. There are signs that women can give off that they are a loyal woman, and there are signs that women can give off they are not a loyal woman, and those signs can emerge within the first meeting. I'm going to go way deeper onto this and the answers in this report. Again, comment report if you want me to send it to you. And otherwise, I'm Taylor Love. I explain the man brain. Hit the follow button, and I'll see you in the next video.
And modern women, they get wrapped up in this fantasy where they want men to continue to beg and plead and, like they say, carry out a boombox or something like that in a window at 12 o'clock at night. I guess it would be midnight. So, and wake up the whole neighborhood with a boombox. So I really love you, playing slow jams and, baby, baby, stay with me. And all those other love songs that, one guy had like a TikTok or something like that to where he was essentially saying, he was kind of, poking fun at some of these R&B songs where women say, oh man, where are the men who yearn? And the songs they were talking about, men yearning in, the men had cheated. I did you wrong. I cheated on. And the women love that. Men are just saying, no, that's not me, man. That's not me. I don't do that type of stuff. I don't get involved in that type of stuff. Number 1. Number 2, it ain't no reason for me to continue to try to prove myself and try to, every single time, it's always me having to say sorry. It's always me having to apologize because I'm always the one doing wrong. You never take any accountability, man.